Have you ever wondered if you can ever have a tiny fraction of the wealth of billionaires all over the world? Not too greedy, just a few millions to set you free financially so that you can afford to spend on things you've always wanted in life, or just more time with the people that you love or care about. See, 4 years ago, I was just the typical Malaysian engineering fresh grad with zero experience, zero special talents, and almost zero savings in my bank account because I never had the right financial education to begin with. Or should I say, I was taught from young that I just had to study hard, get good grades, land a good job, get promoted, work hard, and one day we will attain financial freedom. I mean, that's what I did. I was a full A scholar. I landed a safe and respectable job, but staring down at my monthly paycheck back then, that is barely enough to cover my life expenses living alone in KL, on top of the monthly savings that everyone said was the key to financial freedom, I was left with peanuts that is pale in comparison to the exorbitant price of a car or a property, which with my monthly savings of a few hundred ringgit, it seems impossible for me to crawl anywhere near to those big ticket purchases, let alone financial freedom. Fast forward 2 years later, I stumbled upon this very simple concept that changed the way I look at money. Money is just another form of value, and technically if you can amass a huge amount of value from people, that would translate to more money, which means you are rich. Simple concept, right? But how to accumulate that value in the first place? If you would agree with me, the one thing in common that every one of us have, regardless of race, religion, gender, wealth, or social status, is time. We all got a fair share of 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, and that was the fundamental that we all can work upon. If we were to apply the first principle that Elon Musk always preached upon, then to end up being a rich person, you need to accumulate a huge amount of money, and that money can be exchanged from its other form, which is value. And since we all have the same 24 hours a day, we all share the same amount of time value. And if we take that one step further to attain more time value out of the 24 hours we already have, we need to get it from someone else. And to get it from someone else, you need them to give it to you willingly, right? So to cut to the chase, if you want people to give you their time value, there is only one thing you need to do. You solve their problems. Yes, you heard that right. Solve problems, and you will get value in return. If we take a look at the richest man on earth, Elon Musk, he is valued at over $200 billion because he is close to solving problems for the entire human race. He reduced carbon emission through electric vehicles, accelerated us towards sustainable energy through Tesla's solar-powered batteries, reduced traffic accidents and jams with Tesla's soon to roll out full self-driving software, and so many more. What about Jeff Bezos? He started Amazon in 1994 as an online bookseller in a small garage, which today solved the e-commerce and logistics problem for the entire people of the United States, simply because he saw that people wanted to get their hands on things quickly without the need to travel physically. Bill Gates, he co-founded Microsoft that runs Windows that technically shapes how the computers work today, which is crucial in advancing humanity through technology. Steve Jobs, he reinvented our mobile phones and subsequently influenced Apple to create products that impacts our day-to-day lives. Mark Zuckerberg, he made Facebook possible, which was key to getting people connected through social media in the early days. Look, I'm not asking you to be the next Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, but I'm sure we all can agree on one thing in common that they all have, is they solve problems at scale. Yes, the problem here is solving problems at scale. Today, if you look at your paycheck, I'm sure you would wish for a larger amount or that you think you deserve a raise. And that's totally normal because it's in our human nature to seek for growth and wanting more from life. But the truth to why your paycheck is not as huge as you think it should be is simply because you are solving a problem, yes, but only for your employer. And to simplify it, you are only providing value to one person. If you are a junior accountant, you are only solving the tedious audits and filings for your client or your accounting firm, and that is of value to one person. If you are a junior engineer, you are only solving some operational or maintenance issues for your technical department, and that is of value to one person as well. That applies to most of the jobs out there. You are only providing value to one person. Hence why the value you can provide is limited. Even though you slog 14 or 16 hours a day, you are but an operational expense to your employer until you can prove your worth or solve bigger problems, which translates to bigger value. But let's be honest, that takes time and maybe a little bit of luck here and there. And if you are putting all of your hopes and energy into your day job only, that is no different than an investor that puts all of his wealth into one single stock. Not that it won't go to the moon, but the bigger question is, what if it doesn't go to the moon? It will be too late by the time you realize it, right? So back to the drawing board. If you want to accumulate a huge amount of wealth, you need to solve problems at scale, right? But let's be realistic and look at this from the first principles again.
You kind of boil things down to the most fundamental truths and say, okay, what are we sure is true or as sure as possible is true? And then reason up from there.
In order to even solve problems at scale, you need to start solving problems for one person. It could be yourself, your friend, your family, your community, or whatever that is. Take my YouTube channel as an example. The reason why I can grow my subscribers count and receive payments from YouTube, from affiliates, from commissions, and etc. is because I solve problems that many beginner investors face, including myself. Be it from choosing the right stockbroker, how to fund your account or start investing, breaking down the complex taxation matters, and etc. You all can agree, I am solving a very simple yet fundamental problem that no one in this space addresses it properly. Hence why I can provide value to people or to you. I will be honest, it's not the most noble idea or groundbreaking content on YouTube, but it's still solving problem for a significant amount of people. Because as long as I can solve problems for people at scale, not just 1 or 5 or 10, then that is all I need to accumulate value at scale. And if I want to scale it even bigger down the road, it falls down to my creativity on how I can branch out my content to reach even more people, which allows me to solve more problems. But that's another day's story that we'll talk about in the future. I hope you can roughly get the big picture of it. You don't necessarily need to be a YouTuber or a blogger, but these are just some of the platforms that allow you to scale thanks to the internet. And honestly, it's one of the best ways to reach out to people, rather than just knocking on people's door one by one like a salesman. So that's it. What are the realistic next steps you can take after watching this video in pursuit of value or problems? 1. Be attentive to people's problems. Ask your friends or family, or better, look at what people are saying on social media, forums, and etc. And don't just take those words at face value. Think critically. What are the pain points that they are facing? You just need to think critically and dissect things based on the first principle. When I started this finance channel, my sole purpose was to share with people how I wasted a few months' time choosing the wrong brokerage account. Because if I face this issue, I'm sure many others face the same issue, and evolving it with time, the rest is pretty much history. 2. Talk to people. It can be meeting people on the ground, or it can be online chat with strangers on forums or social media. I know it sounds cliche and you may not necessarily invent the next Amazon by just doing that, but by talking to people, you get to learn what are their pain points even though it's just a casual chat. And in fact, by talking to people, you might be opening doors to opportunities of being a founding members of a startup or a business idea. It's all about planting seeds left and right, and one day, with the right time and the right day, you will be able to sow them. Trust me on that one. 3. Leverage on your current resources. You don't need to have hundreds of thousands. Neither do you need to be friends with a millionaire or a CEO, because leveraging is all about using what you have or can realistically reach within an arm's length. Take my case for example. I've made photographer friends on forums and they taught me so many things about cameras and lighting. I've also made friends with fund managers from asset management firms and they share with me how institutional investors think. I've also made friends with Shopee sellers and they taught me the best way to set up my audio equipment and gears. See, my point is you don't need to reach for the moon to get the ball rolling. You just need to leverage on the things that you have right now. Your internet, your smartphone, your laptop, and the 2 to 3 hours time every night that you have after work. Just apply a bit of creativity to get it rolling and you will thank yourself in no time. I'm not gonna deny it's not an easy task, But with what we have today, it's not an impossible task either. I've previously talked about how you can generate different streams of income, so I hope this can help you to get the ball rolling. And before I end this video, I just want to say that money can indeed buy happiness, but only to a certain extent. Yes, it can buy you a memorable experience, it can buy you better healthcare, it can buy you fancy things, it can buy you better food, but more importantly, I just want to warn you that making money is addictive and you will find yourself repeating the same thing again and again and again, to the point that you will unconsciously sacrifice everything that you have around you, including your health and your relationships. And for what it's worth, try to remind yourself that money is only another form of value that enables you to enrich the quality of life for you and the people that matters most to you. So don't be a slave to money and end up treating money as the final destination, because a huge bungalow can also be very quiet if you don't have someone to share it with you. Alright, that is all for today's video. I hope you found some value from it. Comment down below if you would like to share your thoughts and maybe your experience in the pursuit of wealth. I'm sure all of us are interested to read them. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay invested, and as usual, I will see you in the next one.